Welcome! Today we're going to be talking about Squadron Strike damage. And we have a little PowerPoint presentation here today, followed by a little demonstration of a new tool we have out there for you to try. So the damage in Squadron Strike is the hardest part of the game to teach. I've taught the game numerous times. This is always the most difficult part for new students to grasp. The reason is threefold. One, there's a namespace collision. A lot of the terms are very, very similar. We have damage, damage total, penetration, penetration roll, and so on. Additionally, it requires 4 mathematical operations to do, 2 of which are not very common. And finally, it's a rather unique way of calculating damage, so students can draw upon other experience. It's not a dice pool system like the various like Shadowrun or World of Darkness games, or even games like Warhammer 40,000. It's not a summation system like Dungeons and Dragons, where you're just adding up the dice and giving you the total. Nor is it a dice picker system. So, sort of like a Silent Death, you roll 3 dice and take the highest value as your damage. It's none of those. So it's very unique, and people can't quite grasp it right away a lot of the times. The various terms in the game are damage, or DMG. This is the base damage rating of a weapon. We then have the penetration or pen value. That's the penetration rating of a weapon. Then we have the penetration roll, often referred to as the pen roll. That's a 2d10 minus roll, and we'll cover 2d10 minus on the next slide. And then finally we have the damage total, which is the total amount of injury that is applied to the target. As you can see here, we use the word penetration twice and damage twice. In fact, I was writing up these slides trying to come up with a definition for damage total that did not have the word damage in it. Was actually kind of tough. So this is where the namespace collision comes in. So we have to be very precise when we talk about stuff. So we have our damage, our pen, our penetration roll, and damage total. Now we'll be going over this a couple different ways, but keep that in mind. The 2d10 minus is a very common type of roll in Squadron Strike. It's used for missile and torpedo survival rolls. It's used for structural integrity rolls, but most commonly used in damage rolls. You just take 2 10-sided dice, and you roll them, and you take the difference. This results in a number between 0 and 9. 9 occurs like 2% of the time, and 0 occurs 10% of the time. And if we look at it as a mathematical function, it's a d10 minus d10, and we take the absolute value of the difference. Now, if we look at how to calculate damage as a mathematical formula, this is what it looks like. We have our DMG value, or damage value, plus the minimum value of our penetration roll and our pen value. Or we say damage plus min of pen, comma, the absolute value of d10 minus d10. The double bars is the absolute value function, min is the minimum function, and the d10 is a random number between 1 and 10. We will not be using this formula anywhere else in these slides, but if you're an engineering type, this is the actual formula that will give you your damage total. For the rest of the world, in plain English, what we do is we roll 2d10 minus. We take that number, we compare it to the penetration value. We take the smaller of those two values, and then we add in the damage value of the weapon. We'll have a couple examples. Example 1, up here in the corner you see we have our multi-beam. We use the middle range bracket. So we have a damage value of 5 and a penetration value of 3. First step, we roll 2d10 minus. And in this case, we rolled a 4 and a 9, so the difference is 5. So our 2d10 minus roll is 5. Then we compare that to the pen value. The pen value is 3, and the 2d10 minus roll is 5. And then we take the smaller two values. 3 is obviously less than 5, so our final penetration value is 3. And then we add in the DMG. In this case, it's 5. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So our damage total for this example is 8. Example 2, same weapon, same range bracket. Except now we rolled a 4 and a 3 for our D10s. So we rolled 2d10 minus, calculate the difference. So our value is 1 for our 2d10 roll. Compare that to the pen value. Our pen value is 3. Our 2d10 minus roll is 1. We take the smaller of the two values. 1 is obviously less than 3, so our final penetration value is 1. We take that 1 and we add in the DMG value of the weapon. Our DMG value is 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. So our damage total is 6. Example 3, same thing. We have a damage value of 5, penetration value of 3. This time our 2d10 minus roll results in a 0 because we rolled a pair of 9s. So we compare the 3 to the 0. Obviously 3 is greater than 0, so our final penetration value is 0. We take 0, we add in the DMG value of 5, so our damage total is 5. Now, at this point, you're either incredibly confused or nodding sagely, going, yes, I got this. This is very simple. It's very straightforward. Until the first time you roll the dice, everything would be completely forgotten. You're like, crap, what was that again? So what you really need to do is practice, practice, practice. And because the best way to get practice is to actually get some feedback, I created a little tool called the Damage Trader. Called. So I created a little tool called the Damage Trainer. It's at askme.net/trainer./damage trainer. I'll include the link down below as I keep stumbling over the name. And it looks like this. And so it's a very simple looking little website here. Up here at the top, it'll tell you your damage rating and your penetration rating for your weapon. And it randomly changes every single time you load it. And then the 2d10 rolls. So in this case, our damage rating of 2, pen 7, 8 and 10 are our rolls. So if we calculate out the damage here, is obviously 4. We check our answer. It says, hey, we're correct. And it walks you through the steps again, in case you get it wrong. Well, I'll try it again. It changes all the values again. So damage 11, pen 4, and our rolls are 8 and 7. 8 and 7, difference is 1. 1's less than 4. So our damage total is 12. Try again. And if you can't think of the answer for the life, you just go check answer. It goes, hey, you're wrong, and here's how you calculate it out. So try out the Damage Trainer and keep trying it out until you get the correct answers, 9 times out of 10 or so, and then you'll have it down pat. Well, that is all for basically today. So hopefully this video was useful for you. Hopefully you'll try out the Damage Trainer and find it useful as well. If you have any comments, just leave them down below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like this channel and want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Well, that's all for today. Catch you all later.